Yeah, one that the Empire turns back into a republic. Another thing is, I think the Empire stays but acts like a republic. I don't know how that would turn out. And second, third, it just gets turned back into a republic and it's now a new republic after a minute of the Empire. But yeah, I think those three things might happen anyway. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And again, this is from Star Wars Kingdom. I'll put their channel in the description so you check out their channel and this video on their channel as well. Let's see what happens if Palpatine gets killed before the Empire.
What if Palpatine was assassinated just before the rise of the Empire? This gets pretty sad, but it was fun to think about. So let's take a look. The galaxy is in turmoil, teetering on the edge of monumental change. In the grand chambers of the Galactic Senate on Coruscant, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine stands poised to address the gathered senators. His speech, highly anticipated and shrouded in murmurs of drastic political shifts, is about to commence.
Alright, let me open up the blinds again. Let's see how that goes. If not, I don't know. Sure have to do with my dark side. In the darkness we go.
Palpatine's face, damaged by recent events, holds the gravity that commands attention. Unbeknownst to the galaxy, the dark strings of the Sith are being pulled behind the scenes, ready to shape the fate of the countless worlds. Elsewhere, on the volcanic world of Mustafar, Anakin Skywalker, now Darth Vader, embarks on a grim mission. Betrayed by his own turmoil and seduced by the promises of the dark side, he descends upon the separatist leaders. The fiery rivers of lava stand as a silent witness to the massacre he is about to unleash. A step towards extinguishing the flames of the Clone Wars, orchestrated by hidden hands. Meanwhile, chaos reigns among the Jedi. Order 66, a treacherous command encoded with the clone troopers, has been executed. Across the galaxy, Jedi fall, betrayed by those they once led into battle. The hallowed halls of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant bear the scars of betrayal, and the survivors find themselves hunted, grappling with the shattering of their order and the unraveling of the Republic they swore to protect. In the wake of Count Dooku's demise, a shadow of his influence lingers, a masterstroke from beyond the grave. Dooku, a tactician per excellence, had long anticipated the possibility of betrayal by his master, Darth Sidious. In the Sith tradition of treachery and power, he knew his position as the apprentice was perilous, and the rise of Anakin Skywalker only solidified his suspicions. Before his fateful confrontation with Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Dooku had set in motion a contingency plan, a final act of defiance should he meet his untimely end. This plan was born not out of just personal vengeance against Sidious, but from a deeper, more calculative motive. Dooku, disillusioned with the corruption festering in the Republic and the Senate, intended to strike the crippling blow to the heart of this decay. The instrument of his retribution was unassuming, a droid meticulously modified and planted within the Senate building. To the untrained eye, it was just another service droid, one among many that maintained the day-to-day operations. But hidden within its circuits was a devastating weapon, a bomb engineered to cause catastrophic destruction. The droid's
kind of like in the Clone Wars season 4, 5, or 6, I believe. No, season 5 and 6, I think. Like the spy cleaning droids that General Grievous sent off to the Senate building. Like those droids, if you don't know, it's from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. From season 5 or 6, I believe. But yeah, similar tactic. Instead of having the spy cleaning droids, Dooku did this, right?
activation was tied to a singular condition, Dooku's life signs. It was a failsafe, ensuring that his plan would only unfold if he were no longer alive to enact his own designs of power. In the aftermath of his death, as the galaxy remained unaware, the droid silently received the signal it was time. Count Dooku's final gambit was set into motion, a last testament to his strategic acumen and his profound disillusionment with the system he once served. As the galaxy fixates on Palpatine's impending speech and the chaos brought by Order 66, none are aware of the impending doom, silently ticking away within the walls of the Senate, a legacy of betrayal, revenge, and a twisted sense of justice from the fallen Count of Sereno. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, his face a mask of solemn authority, rises to deliver his address. Senators from across the galaxy, their faces reflecting a mixture of emotions, watched carefully. Among them is Senator Padme Amidala, her expression one of apprehensive concern. Palpatine begins to speak, his voice resonating throughout the chamber. He talks of the Clone Wars, of sacrifice, and of the need for a new order to ensure peace and stability. As he skillfully weaves his narrative, positioning himself as the savior of the Republic, he subtly hints at the restructuring of the government. The creation of the First Galactic Empire is on the verge of being announced. But fate, guided by the hand of Count Dooku from beyond the grave, has other plans. Unnoticed in the shadows, the droid carrying Dooku's final retribution silently activates. The bomb, a masterpiece of destruction, is primed. In a blinding flash, the chamber erupts into chaos. The explosions, devastating and precise, tears through the Senate chamber. The shockwave is monstrous, shattering the grandeur of the room, engulfing senators, guards, and bystanders alike. Palpatine, mid-sentence, is consumed by the inferno, his reign and manipulation ending in a split second. In the pandemonium, Senator Amidala is thrown back by the force of the blast. Shrapnel and debris rain down, and she is gravely injured, her life hanging by a thread. The once hallowed chamber is now a scene of apocalyptic ruin, smoke billowing and fires raging. As emergency service swarm the site, Amidala is hastily located and rushed for immediate medical attention. Her condition is critical, and amidst the turmoil, the medical team faces a daunting task. Amidala is pregnant, and the lives of her unborn children hang in the balance. The doctors, amidst the chaos of the galaxy suddenly untethered, work frantically to save them, their efforts a beacon of hope in a moment of profound darkness. The assassination of Palpatine and the catastrophic loss of the Senate's leadership sends shockwaves throughout the galaxy. The Republic, already on unstable ground, finds itself leaderless and in disarray. In these desperate moments, the future of the galaxy, once seemingly set on a path of dictatorship, is abruptly thrust into uncertainty. On the hellish landscape of Mustafar, surrounded by the rivers of molten lava and the smoldering remains of the separatist leaders, Anakin Skywalker stands, his breathing heavy. The deed is done. His transition to Darth Vader seemingly sealed with each life he has taken. But as he prepares to leave, a sudden, overwhelming disturbance in the Force grips him. It's as if voices had suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. Anakin feels the shockwave through the Force, a mixture of pain, fear, and confusion. But what shakes him to his core is the abrupt absence of two presences he's grown so familiar with: Chancellor Palpatine, his mentor, and more distressingly, a significant disturbance surrounding Padme. His heart races, panic setting in. The newfound allegiance to Palpatine, the promises of power and saving his beloved from death, all seem inconsequential now. The only thought that consumed him is Padme's safety. He reaches out through the Force, trying desperately to sense her, but the chaos muddles his perception. Anakin rushes to his ship, his mind in turmoil. The dark cloak of Darth Vader flutters behind him as he abandons the burning world of Mustafar. As he ascends into space, heading towards Coruscant, 1,000 scenarios play out in his mind. The fear of losing Padme, the fear that led him down this dark path, is now more real than ever. His ship tears through hyperspace, each passing moment an agonizing eternity. Anakin's transformation into Vader is paused, his identity crisis deepening. The dark, powerful Sith Lord he was becoming is now overshadowed by the desperate, terrified husband fearing the worst. As he approaches Coruscant, the smoldering remains of the Senate building come into view, a stark testament to the catastrophe that had befallen the heart of the Republic. His ship lands amidst the chaos, emergency service still scrambling, and the smell of smoke and destruction filling the air. Anakin disembarks, his eyes scanning the pandemonium, his heart pounding. He pushes his way through, the authority of his presence parting the crowd, his singular focus to find Padme, to know if she's alive or if his worst fears have been realized. The once ensured and powerful Anakin Skywalker, now a mosaic of conflict and desperation, finds himself at a crossroads. The future, once manipulated and seemingly certain, is now expanse of his unknowns, his destiny more uncertain than ever. The corridors of the medical facility are blurred to Anakin as he rushes through, his every step fueled by a mix of hope and dread. He finally arrives at the operation room where Padme is being treated. The medical droids are in a flurry of activity, their mechanical precision a stark contrast to the emotional turmoil Anakin feels. He is informed that his children, a boy and a girl, have been safely delivered, a glimmer of hope in the midst of despair. But this news is quickly overshadowed by a much graver revelation. Padme is dying. Despite the droid's best efforts, her injuries from the explosion are too severe, her life slipping away. Anakin is allowed into the room, the sterile environment feeling like a world away from the chaos outside. There, amidst the medical equipment and the soft beeping of life support machines, lies Padme, frail and fading, yet holding on with the last of her strength. As Anakin approaches, their eyes meet. There is so much he wants to say, so many apologies and promises, but words fail him. The enormity of the situation, the cascade of choices that led him to this moment weighs heavily on him. Padme, with a weak but tender smile, reaches out to him. Her touch, faint as it is, sends a surge of emotion through Anakin. In her eyes, he sees not blame or anger, but enduring love, a silent understanding that transcends the turmoil surrounding them. In these final moments, Padme musters the strength to speak, her voice barely a whisper. Anakin, take care of our children. They are our hope. Her words are a plea, a final wish from a dying mother. Anakin, tears streaming down his face, nods, a silent vow made amidst heartbreak. I love you, Padme. I'm so sorry. He manages to say, his voice choked with emotion. Padme's eyes conveyed a depth of forgiveness and sorrow, and with a final, labored breath, she whispers, I love you too, Anakin. And then, as if in a peaceful surrender, she slips away, her hand going limp in his. The loss is overwhelming, a crushing blow to Anakin. His mother, his mentor, and now Padme, gone. He is enveloped in a shroud of grief, his heart torn between the dark path he had started down and the flickering light of his newborn children. As Anakin stands there, holding the hand of his beloved, now gone, the galaxy seems to shift around him. He is at a crossroads, torn between the dark and the light, between vengeance and protection, between the remnants of Anakin Skywalker and the shadow of Darth Vader. In this moment of profound loss and uncertainty, the future of the galaxy and the destiny of Anakin Skywalker hang in a delicate, precious balance. With the Republic Senate devastated and the CIS leadership annihilated, the galaxy finds itself in unprecedented disarray. The power vacuum left by these cataclysmic events prompts a swift militaristic response. Taking the helm of this crisis is none other than Tarkin, a figure of authority within the Republic military apparatus. His rise to prominence in the chaotic time is marked by decisive action aimed at restoring order to a galaxy reeling from the shock of recent events. Tarkin, leveraging his military clout and strategic acumen, initiates a series of rehabilitation projects across planets ravaged by the Clone Wars. His directive is clear: to rebuild and to unify. Under his watchful eye, troopers are deployed not as agents of war, but as forces of reconstruction and peace. The devastated worlds, once battlegrounds, begin to see the first signs of recovery, a testament to Tarkin's seemingly benevolent leadership. Simultaneously, Tarkin addresses the void left in the Senate with the call for elections. These elections, purported to restore representation to worlds mourning their lost senators, offer a glimmer of democracy and free will. However, beneath the surface of these noble endeavors, Tarkin's true motives unravel. Elections, while appearing fair and free, are meticulously orchestrated to ensure the ascent of individuals loyal to Tarkin. Through his manipulation, he solidifies his grip on a newly forming political landscape, ensuring that the emerging Senate remains under his indirect control. To the galaxy at large, Tarkin's actions are perceived as a beacon of hope. The reconstruction efforts and swift move to reestablish a democratic Senate are hailed as steps towards a new era of peace and stability. The populace, desperate for leadership and order in the wake of such turmoil, rallies behind Tarkin, unaware of the manipulations at play. His reputation as a unifier and a visionary leader grows, bolstering his position as the de facto head of the Republic. Count Dooku's carefully crafted schemes cast long shadows over the galaxy, his strategic foresight reaching beyond the grave. The bombing of the Republic Senate, while a significant blow, was merely the opening gambit in a series of contingency plans designed to wreak havoc and ensure a legacy of chaos. Unknown to the Republic and even to his Sith master, Palpatine, Dooku had commissioned the creation of clones of the formidable General Grievous. These clones were equipped with upgraded armor and enhanced combat capabilities, lay dormant, awaiting the activation upon Dooku's demise. On a remote separatist world, spared from the Republic's reach and untouched by the war's ravages, lay hidden droid factories of immense capacity. These factories were primed to commence a massive droid production operation, a directive that would come into effect with Dooku's passing. Under Palpatine's rule, restrictions have been placed on the number of battle droids that could be produced, a strategic move to ensure the Republic's military strength. However, with Dooku's foresight and hidden directives, these limitations were about to be rendered moot. As Tarkin and the Republic focused on rebuilding and consolidating power, the activation of Dooku's hidden droid factories began. The clone successors of General Grievous, each embodying the strategic brilliance and ruthlessness efficiency of their clone host, assumed command of a new droid army. With production ramping up at unprecedented pace, the galaxy faces the specter of a resurgent separatist force, one not burdened by the political complexities and betrayals that plagued its predecessor. As Tarkin's Republic, now under his Iron Fist guidance, extends its reach to separatist worlds, it does so under the guise of seeking a peaceful reunification. However, the inhabitants of these worlds, long steeped in the ethos of separatism, wary of Republic dominance, resisted Tarkin's overtures. The resistance prompts Tarkin to reveal the true nature of his intentions as offers of reconciliation, but as imperatives backed by military force. Tarkin's approach, emblematic of his belief in ruling through fear and strength, sets the stage for an inevitable conflict. It's during these tense negotiations and displays of force that an unexpected and formidable challenge emerges. From the depths of hyperspace, a large amount of separatist ships materialize, heralding the return of a force thought vanquished. At the forefront of this armada is a clone of General Grievous, a symbol of the separatist military prowess and resilience. This clone embodied the strategic acumen and its will of the original Grievous, leads the charge against Tarkin's forces. The sudden appearance of the separatist army, coupled with the leadership of the Grievous clone, ignites hope among the local population. Their cheers fill the air as the battle ensues, seeing in this resurgence a chance to resist Republic assimilation and assert their independence. The battle that unfolds is fierce and unexpected, catching Tarkin's forces off guard. Unprepared for the scale and ferocity of the attack, the Republic forces find themselves at a disadvantage. The tactical brilliance of Grievous, replicated in his clone, and the sheer number of droids pouring into the fray from the newly operational factories overwhelm the Republic's defenders. The situation on the ground rapidly deteriorates for Tarkin's forces, leading to a chaotic and disorderly retreat. This setback marks a significant blow to Tarkin's aspirations of a unified galaxy under Republic dominion. The emergence of the Separatist army, led by Grievous clones, and their ability to rally the people of the Separatist worlds against the Republic underscored the deep division that remained within the galaxy. It also highlights the underestimation of Dooku's long-term planning and the resilience of the Separatist sentiments among the populace. This resurgence marked not the end, but a transformation of the Clone Wars into a conflict potentially more devastating than ever. The unexpected turn of events provide Tarkin with a unique opportunity to ascend to unprecedented heights of power. Utilizing the chaos and the desperate need for strong leadership as the backdrop, Tarkin maneuvers himself into a position of the new Emperor, effectively stepping into the vacuum left by Palpatine's assassination. Tarkin's rise to power was facilitated by strategic groundwork he laid. Planets he had aided in the wake of the Clone Wars looked to him as a savior, while the senators under his influence, either through manipulation or genuine support, cemented his ascendancy. This consolidation of power was swift, leveraging the crisis as a means to unify the Republic under a single authoritative rule his own. However, Tarkin's nascent empire faced significant challenges from the outset. The Republic's military, once bolstered by strategic genius and valor of the Jedi generals, now sorely felt their absence following Order 66. Additionally, the clone troopers' ranks, the backbone of the Republic's military might, had dwindled. The relentless demand for troops through the Clone Wars, coupled with them ceasing the clone productions post-war, had left their numbers dangerously low at a time when they were most needed. Recognizing the urgent need for reinforcements, Tarkin ordered the production of more clone troopers. However, the genetic template of Jango Fett, used to create the original clone army, had degraded over time with the excessive cloning it had undergone. This meant that while more clones could be produced, they would not pose the same efficiency or combat effectiveness as the earlier generations. This was a temporary solution, a stopgap to address the immediate shortfall in the military personnel. In a more radical move, Tarkin also instituted a draft among the Republic's civilian population. This was an unprecedented step, aiming to bolster the ranks of the Republic's military with fresh recruits. While this decision was met with mixed reactions, resistance in some quarters, and resigned acceptance in others, it underscored the severity of the situation. The draft not only aimed to increase the Republic's military capabilities, but also served as a tool for Tarkin to demonstrate and enforce his control over the Republic's populace. This shift towards a more militarized and authoritarian regime under Tarkin marked a significant departure from the Republic's democratic ideals. The draft, in particular, was a clear sign of the times, reflecting the desperate measures deemed necessary to confront the resurgent threat of the separatist forces. In a strategic move to consolidate his burgeoning empire and its military capabilities, Tarkin makes a calculated visit to Naboo, seeking out Anakin Skywalker. Anakin, once known as Palpatine's most formidable enforcer, Darth Vader, had retreated from the galactic stage. His priorities shifted entirely to the well-being and protection of his children. The tumultuous events leading up to this moment had stripped Anakin of many things, but they had crystallized his resolve to forsake his past and ensure a peaceful life for his family. Tarkin, fully aware of Anakin's past allegiance and potential as a powerful ally, approaches him with a proposition. He offers protection and safety for Anakin and his family, but at a steep price: Anakin's service to Tarkin's regime. However, Anakin, wary of war and disillusioned by past actions, refuses Tarkin's offer. His commitment lies solely with his children, not with the ambitions of power or the continuation of conflict. Tarkin, unaccustomed to refusal and sensing a potential threat to his authority, resorts to a blackmail. He institutes the peril that Anakin and his family would face should they stand outside the fold of the New Order. Tarkin's threat veils a darker implication: the potential execution of Order 66 against Anakin himself, despite his unique role in its original enactment. The mention of such a threat ignites a profound and visceral reaction in Anakin. His eyes flash with the yellow hue of the Sith, a manifestation of his anger and the dark powers still residing within him. Realizing that persuasion has failed and now fearing Anakin's wrath, Tarkin hastily orders his clones to attack, seeking to eliminate Anakin as he retreats to safety. The decision underestimates Anakin's prowess and resolve. Despite having forsaken the mantle of Darth Vader, Anakin's skills and command of the Force remain undiminished. He deftly neutralizes the clone troopers sent against him, ensuring his and his children's safety from the immediate threat. The confrontation with Tarkin forces Anakin to recognize that any hope of a quiet life has been shattered. With Tarkin's empire on the rise and the threat it poses not just to him, but to the galaxy at large, Anakin makes a decisive choice. He must flee Naboo, taking his children into hiding. The galaxy, however, is vast but shrinking for those marked by Tarkin's rule. On the run and burdened with the weight of his past actions, Anakin seeks solace and guidance in the Force. In moments of quiet meditation, he reaches out, hoping for a sign, a direction in which to lead his children away from the dangers that now shadow their every step. It is during one of these meditative sessions that the impossible happens. Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin's former mentor's master and a revered figure in the Jedi history, appears before him as a Force ghost. Anakin, stunned by Qui-Gon's presence, struggles to grasp the reality of the encounter. The possibility of communicating with the deceased had seemed beyond reach, even with the vast capabilities of the Force. Yet, here was Qui-Gon, a beacon of calm and wisdom. Standing before him, Qui-Gon's appearance serves as a powerful reminder to Anakin of the living Force's mysteries and the paths it can unveil. Qui-Gon's message is clear and profound: trust in the living Force. He speaks of a world where the remnants of the Jedi Order are gathering, a place of hope where they aim to rebuild from the ashes of their near annihilation. Anakin, filled with guilt and remorse for his role in the Order's downfall, initially rejects the notion. He believes the Jedi can never forgive him for his actions as Darth Vader, for the lives he took and the destruction he wrought. Yet Qui-Gon, with the patience and understanding that had always characterized him, gently persuades Anakin. He assures Anakin of his own forgiveness, a sentiment he believes that will be shared by those who truly understand the ways of the Force. Qui-Gon's faith and capacity for redemption and healing touches Anakin, steering within him a glimmer of hope. Perhaps in the face of overwhelming darkness, there is a path back to the light, not just for him, but for the Jedi Order as well. As the galaxy reels from the shockwaves of recent upheavals, the machinations of Count Dooku, meticulously laid before his demise, continue to unfold in unexpected ways. Amidst the chaos of the bombing at the Senate, an event that marked the assassination of Palpatine and heralded a new era of uncertainty, a lesser-known plot of Dooku's was set into motion. A loyal servant of Dooku, acting on orders predestined for this moment of turmoil, executed a daring rescue to free Barriss Offee, a former Jedi turned prisoner after her betrayal of the Order. Barriss, once a promising Jedi Knight before her fall from grace, found herself transported to Sereno.
Oh my
You
god.
say you'll never join the Navy. Never track storms in the Atlantic. Or skydive as part of your commute. Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is. Learn why at Navy.com. America's Navy.
Can we get back
forged
to
by the
this?
sea.
A world with deep ties to Count Dooku. It was here, amidst the remnants of Dooku's legacy, that a hologram of the Count himself would reveal the breadth and ambitions of his plans to her. Dooku, having foreseen the potential in Barriss as an ally, or perhaps more accurately as a tool, entrusted her with a pivotal role in his grand vision. The hologram laid out a path for a new empire, one that could rise from the ashes of the Republic and the Jedi Order, offering Barriss a chance to wield power and influence on a scale she had never imagined. Her disillusionment with the Jedi and the Republic, which had led her down a dark path to begin with, made her a receptive audience to Dooku's proposal. He envisioned her not merely as a follower, but as an apprentice, a successor to carry forth his legacy and ambitions. The most intriguing and perilous part of Dooku's plan involved the world between worlds, a mystical dimension that exists outside of time and space, accessible through the Force. This realm, known to only a few within the galaxy, holds the power to alter reality itself, offering pathways through time and the potential to reshape events. Dooku directed Barriss to seek out this realm, believing it to hold the key to their ultimate victory and dominion over the galaxy. Barriss, her faith in the Jedi Order and the Republic already shattered, finds herself at a crossroads. The promise of power and the opportunity to forge a new order is tantalizing, yet the journey to the world between worlds is fraught with unknowns. To embark on this quest is to delve into mysteries of the Force that few have survived, let alone mastered. As Barriss sets her sights on unlocking the secrets of the world between worlds, the galaxy remains unaware of the dark forces steering in the shadows. Her actions, guided by Dooku's cunning plan, have the potential to unravel the fabric of reality and alter the course of history. Anakin's journey, fraught with turmoil and reflection, leads him and his children to a secluded planet in the unknown regions. This remote world serves as a sanctuary for the remnants of the Jedi Order, seeking refuge from the galaxy-wide purge that nearly eradicated them. It's here, amidst the shadows of a world forgotten by the galaxy at large, that Anakin comes face to face with his past. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Reunion is charged with emotions. Anakin, bearing the weight of his actions and the path that led him to become Darth Vader, finds it difficult to meet the gaze of a man who was once not just his master, but his closest friend. Obi-Wan, for his part, carries the disappointment of the Order's downfall and the personal heartache of witnessing Anakin's fall from grace. Yet, despite the past, Obi-Wan reaches out, his gesture one of understanding rather than judgment, his words acknowledging the deception that ensnared them all, offering a semblance of comfort to Anakin. It's a recognition of shared failure, of being misled by the very ideals and institutions they had sworn to uphold. Urged by Obi-Wan's compassion, Anakin joins him for a walk, a chance for the master and apprentice to reconnect amidst the ruins of their shared history. As they wandered, Obi-Wan delves into the prophecy of the Chosen One, a topic fraught with significance and misinterpretation. He suggests that the Jedi's understanding of balance, focused narrowly on the elimination of the Sith and the dark side, was perhaps flawed. True balance, Obi-Wan says, isn't about eradication of one aspect of the Force over the other, but about acknowledging and harmonizing the coexistence of creation and destruction, light and dark. This perspective offers Anakin a new lens through which to view his journey in the Force itself. The idea that balance involves both creation and destruction, rather than the dominance of one over the other, resonates with him. It suggests a broader understanding of the Force, one that encompasses the full spectrum of its manifestations. Anakin listens, absorbing Obi-Wan's words, the seeds of new understanding taking root. The conversation marked the beginning of a healing process, not just for Anakin, but potentially for the Jedi Order as well, in acknowledging past misinterpretations and opening themselves to a more inclusive view of the Force. There lies a path to redemption and growth. Obi-Wan leads Anakin to a very old building that looks like it's been standing there for ages, surviving the test of time. As they enter, Anakin notices the walls inside are covered with ancient paintings. Each painting tells a story, like a silent guardian of history, but there's one that immediately grabs Anakin's attention. This particular painting is unique and deeply moving. It shows Anakin standing right in the middle, with one side of him bathed in light and the other side shrouded in darkness. This image perfectly captures his journey through life, his battles, his struggles between good and bad choices, and how he's always been caught between two worlds. On the side that lit up, there was Ahsoka, Anakin's former student. She's someone very special to him, almost like family. Ahsoka represents hope, bravery, and the choice to do what's right, even when it's hard. Presence in the painting alongside Anakin symbolizes her importance in his life and how she influenced him for the better. On the other side of Anakin, the side that's darker, there's a man who stands for the new future of the Mortis gods, a story the Jedi know well about a family of powerful beings who control different aspects of the Force. This side of the painting hints at a new beginning or a change that's coming, suggesting that Anakin has a role in a bigger plan that's yet to unfold. The Jedi found this painting after they landed on this hidden planet. Seeing it made them stop and think deeply about their own journey, the mistakes they've made, and how they've sometimes lost sight of what's truly important. It was a moment of realization for them, a wake-up call that perhaps they had misunderstood their purpose in Anakin's destiny. This discovery, especially the painting, helped the Jedi to start see things in a new perspective. They began to understand that Anakin's path wasn't just about struggles and the mistakes he made, but also about growth, redemption, and the balance he could bring to the Force. It showed them that Anakin's story is a crucial part of a much larger picture, and it helped them appreciate the complexities of his journey and the choices he faced. For Anakin, standing there, looking at the painting, it's a powerful moment. It's as if all the pieces of his life are coming together, helping him see the bigger picture of his own destiny. This experience shared with Obi-Wan, becoming a turning point, offering him a chance to understand his past, accept it, and possibly find a way to move forward with a new sense of purpose. As Anakin stood before the painting, deeply moved by its depiction of his life, he felt a strange pull towards it, an urge he couldn't resist. He reached out, his hand touching the painting, and to his amazement, a portal opened up on the other side. Through this portal, he saw a familiar face, a beloved face, Padme, his wife, looking at him with a warm smile. Anakin turned to Obi-Wan, unsure of what to do next. Obi-Wan, understanding the significance of this moment, simply smiled and nodded, giving Anakin the encouragement he needed. Trusting his former master, Anakin stepped through the portal, leaving behind the world he knew. On the other side, Anakin and Padme embraced in a long-awaited reunion. Anakin, overwhelmed with emotion, asked how this could be possible. Padme's response was comforting. No one is ever truly gone. She explained that she had become one with the Force, joining the essence that binds every living thing that has existed or will exist. Padme then invited Anakin to take a walk with her, leading him into the world between worlds. This place, she explained, existed outside of time and space, a realm where the past, present, and future could be glimpsed through the portals. As they walked, portals began to open up around them, each one revealing a moment from Anakin's life, filled with joy and happiness. His triumph win in the pod race, the day he was welcomed as a Jedi, and the precious moments when he fell in love with Padme. For Anakin, being with Padme again and reliving these joyful memories was an incredible gift. He felt a happiness he hadn't known in a long time, a stark contrast to the turmoil and pain that had marked much of his life. This journey through the world between worlds, guided by Padme, offered Anakin not just a chance to revisit the happiest moments of his life, but also provided a profound sense of peace and closure. Together they walked hand in hand, exploring this mythical realm that defined the constraints of time. As Anakin and Padme continued their journey through the world between worlds, the scenery around them began to change. The portals that once showed moments of joy and triumph now shifted to darker memories. Anakin's mother dying in his arms, visions of Padme's death, the massacre of the Tusken Raiders, and the betrayal of the Jedi. These scenes brought a surge of pain and guilt, crushing Anakin with the weight of his past actions. Padme, ever compassionate, faced Anakin, her voice gentle but firm. She told him that in order to move forward, he needed to forgive himself and understand his true purpose. "You are all these things, Anakin, both good and bad. You are balance," she explained. Confused and seeking clarity, Anakin asked her what he was supposed to do with balance. Padme's answer was simple yet profound: maintain it. Before Anakin could process her words fully, the serene atmosphere of the world between worlds was shattered, the ground beneath them trembling violently like an earthquake tearing through the fabric of this mystical place. Padme's face twisted in fear as the floor opened up beneath her, swallowing her into darkness. Anakin, driven by a desperate need to save her, screamed her name, but it was too late. As he looked up, searching for a cause or an enemy to confront, he saw Count Dooku and Barriss Offee standing above him. As Anakin's eyes flickered to the yellow of the Sith, he lunged forward with determination fueled by rage. The raw power of the dark side surged through him, enhancing his physical strength and aggression. His lightsaber moves a whirlwind of power and speed. Each strike he delivered was meant to overwhelm. His style no longer the measured technique of a Jedi, but the ferocious onslaught of someone who had embraced his darkest emotions. However, this unbridled anger clouded his judgment and precision. Anakin's focus on attack left him open to counterstrikes. In the heat of battle, Barriss Offee found an opening. With a swift movement, she managed to graze Anakin's leg with her lightsaber, burning him. This injury was enough to break Anakin's momentum, sending him tumbling to the ground in pain. From his vantage point, Dooku looked down at Anakin with a mix of disdain and triumph. "You have failed," he taunted, his voice echoing with malice. "Soon the galaxy will be mine to rule." Dooku's words were mockery, aimed to twist the knife deeper into Anakin's wounded spirit. He stood over Anakin, confident in his victory, seeing this moment as the culmination of his plans and Anakin's defeat as the final obstacle removed from his path to domination. Dooku's mockery only served to ignite Anakin's fury, pushing him to tap further into the dark side's seductive power. This surge of anger temporarily granted him increased strength and speed, allowing him to re-engage in the duel with renewed power. Anakin moved with astonishing quickness, his attacks a blur of motion as he sought to overwhelm Dooku and Barriss. Yet, in his fury, Anakin's tactics became predictable, and Dooku exploited this, casting a powerful bolt of Sith lightning at him. The force of the lightning struck Anakin, hurling him to the ground once more. Anakin laid withering in pain. Dooku loomed over him, declaring his impending death. He unleashed another torrent of lightning, each bolt sending waves of agony through Anakin's body, pushing him to the brink of death. In this moment of torment and despair, Padme's voice reached out to him, a beacon of light in the darkness. "You are more than your failures. Remember that, Annie. Always." Her words pierced the veil of pain and anger, reminding him of his true strength and purpose. This pivotal moment awakened something profound within Anakin. For the first time, he felt the dark side and the light coexisting within him, not in conflict, but in balance. Harnessing this newfound understanding, Anakin reached out, absorbing Dooku's lightning, drawing it into himself and neutralizing the destructive power. Rising to his feet, he faced Dooku and Barriss with a calm and centered focus that he had never known before. As Dooku and Barriss launched another assault, their movements appeared sluggish to Anakin, as if time itself had slowed around him. He no longer relied on his lightsaber. Instead, he maneuvered around their attacks with graceful ease, using the Force to anticipate and evade each strike. When Barriss overextended, Anakin seized the opportunity, using a forceful push to send her spiraling into the abyss of darkness. Dooku, now alone in his fight against Anakin, redoubled his efforts, but it was in vain. Anakin, operating on a level beyond physicality, effortlessly dodged Dooku's desperate attacks. In a decisive move, Anakin reached out with the Force, gripping Dooku in a powerful choke. A portal materialized behind Dooku, and with a mere thought, Anakin propelled him through it, banishing him back into the depths from which he came. This victory was not just a triumph over his enemies, but a personal victory over the inner turmoil that had plagued him for so long. Anakin had discovered the profound truth about himself and the Force. The true power lies in balance, in the harmony of light and dark. Standing amidst the aftermath of the battle, Anakin felt a peace he had not known for years, a sense of wholeness and purpose that transcended the conflict and pain of his past. After the intense duel, a remarkable discovery of his inner balance, Anakin stepped through a newly opened portal, finding himself in a world that radiated peace. There, he was reunited with Padme, whose pride in her husband and achievements was evident in her glowing smile. She spoke to him about his new role, maintaining the balance within the galaxy, a task of monumental importance. Anakin's thoughts quickly turned to their children, longing for information about their well-being. Padme's response was gentle and reassuring, hinting at a future reunion. In due time, we will all be reunited. This conversation brought a new realization to Anakin. The duel that seemed to last only minutes to him had spanned years in the real world. Looking through the veil of time, Anakin witnessed the unfolding. Without Dooku's return to spearhead the separatist movement, Tarkin's republic transitioning into an empire faced little resistance. Under Tarkin's rule, the empire expanded, becoming an oppressive force across the galaxy. However, this reign of tyranny would not go unchallenged. A rebellion was brewing, spearheaded by the new Jedi Order, with Anakin's children, now grown, leading the charge towards freedom. Amidst this revelation, Anakin heard a familiar voice behind him. Turning, he saw Ahsoka. Her presence was a comforting sight. She embraced him warmly, and Anakin, burdened by guilt for not being there to support his children, expressed his regrets. Ahsoka reassured him, conveying that his children had grown up with the knowledge that their parents were heroes. They learned of Anakin and Padme's legacy through Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, who shared tales of their bravery and sacrifice. This moment of reunion, surrounded by those he loved and who had played such a pivotal role in his life, offered Anakin a profound sense of closure and peace. Though he could not be with his children in their fight against oppression, he understood that his legacy and Padme's lived on through them. They were a beacon of hope and resistance against tyranny, inspired by the lessons and love he and Padme had imparted. As Anakin stood with Padme and Ahsoka in this tranquil world, he realized that his journey had led him to this point not just to confront his past, but to shape the future. His role in maintaining the balance was crucial. Anakin Skywalker found solace in the knowledge that his legacy would continue to influence the galaxy, guided by the principles of balance, hope, and the enduring power of love.
I'm not hearing that. Yeah, that's not, like, got part of it was kind of like what I thought was going to happen, how it became an empire, but I thought it would be like turned back into a republic, or a new republic, but no, none of it happened. It stayed as the empire and the rebellion, like in the movies. So nothing, I thought it was going to change, like, from an empire back to the republic or into the new republic, but no. Anyway, that's not nice. I expect that. I was thinking it would be like a different, something else would happen, but yeah. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and check out the original video from the Star Wars Kingdom. I'll put their channel in the description below, so you can check out this video for yourself. And don't forget to check out my reaction playlist to see this reaction as well. And again, I'll put Star Wars Kingdom's channel in the description below, so you can check it out for yourself. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time. Bye.